Okay, this is the third segment today in this about Jesus, so we'll continue on where I left off here. I endeavored to explain the phenomenon in the following way. This that you witness, though you may not understand the laws that brought it into manifestation, has been demonstrated long before I came to demonstrate the same unto you. I only be the channel through which these things come and make themselves known unto the people and those who be present. If it happens today, it happened before. It is not a miracle, for it can be explained. This phenomenon, as well as the many other things of a miraculous nature that have lived down in the histories of mankind, can all be explained. Many during their lives have been accredited with having performed miracles. I come to say unto you people that all miracles can be explained, and that there is no such thing as a true miracle. Before we leave the subject, let me conclude with these few words about healing. While you are on the earth plane, disciples of Agasha, you are always subject to trials of the physical. These are things that you have to go through, and perhaps crosses that you have to bear, but I want you to understand that so many of our ailments can be eliminated by our knowing that God is ever present. We must see ourselves in a state of perfection. When I healed upon the earth, it was that I saw God within the soul, and I saw that person in a state of perfection. Then by the power and the illumination that I had, or rather that was manifesting through me, I sent forth this power, this radiation, into the body of the afflicted one. And so very often they felt relief immediately. However, without that power I could do but very little. It was only the God consciousness manifesting through me that did the work. I also told the villagers many times that they too must not harbor any evil thought or keep things of a negative nature within their consciousness. In this way they could help heal themselves. For many an illness, many of the ailments that you have on the earth plane, be caused basically from negative thinking. You magnify the ailments, and you can sometimes even make the ailment malignant. However, in all fairness to those that be suffering from this disease, it can be said in most cases it be a karmic condition and a cross that they must bear. But it is not man's destiny to bear this cross forever. Indeed not. To the contrary, it be so ordained that man must eventually arise from the cross and rise above a negative karmic condition. A man is truly inspired who says, "This is not what I want. Therefore I must arise from this predicament. I am not the victim of this. It only appears that I am a victim of this because I commit myself to be placed in this state of negation. Therefore I shall arise." Now when a man states this with conviction, he has truly touched the God consciousness, and he does arise. He may even find that he is healed, and he then goes forth and he brings peace unto his family and peace unto mankind, and in turn he is so very, very peaceful within for the duration of his life. And even though he is not healed from the physical ailment, and he wakes up over here on this side of life, he still finds that he has arisen. He finds it to be the same as when the masters of old had said, "I go unto my Father, and I bring light and peace unto mankind." The Father is the expression or the interpretation of the masculine consciousness. The male and the female principle, the positive and the negative contact, applies through all of life. This statement means I go unto my higher self, and then I am in a position to bring peace and a better understanding unto my fellow men. But I always pointed out to mankind that we are now living in eternity, and that we do not die to go unto the Father, because we are already in the consciousness of the Father. We live only to understand the universal expression of God. These are the words that I uttered in my language of that day unto my disciples, unto my people, and they are in reality the same words that Agasha is giving today. If I were to come upon a man, and if I found that this man had not accomplished anything, this is giving and receiving, that he had no desire to work and earn his way, and that he only desired to become a beggar of the passer-by, I would not go to him and say, "This is a coin that I desire you to take, and this coin is going to help you to arise." No, I would not say that. I would go up to the man, and I would see the beauty in that man who thought that the world was down on him. I would see the good in that man, and I would see the same God in him to be also the God that is within me. I would see only the good. And then I would extend my hand unto him, and I would visualize him in a state of beauty and see him in a state of perfection. Then if I were to give him an earthly coin, to give an earthly coin unto him that perhaps would help to sustain him for the time, I would bless it and give it to him in the silence. It would then do him good. But if I were to return in the tomorrows, and if I would see the same beggar there in the same location, I would not keep repeating this. I would not keep handing him the coins to sustain him for the day. No, there would be no goodness in that. Yet it is not for me to say that his actions be wrong, nor even to condemn. If I should still see him going on the way he had, but before I left him in the first place, I would see him arising and being inspired and taking his rightful place in the world to learn his lessons. These are the things that help us to derive so much out of life, children. And when we take the attitude of always extending the hand, but never extending it to take away the responsibilities, we are then true disciples of this movement. It is said that there are those who are born to give, and then there are those who are born to receive. Which shall I be, the giver or the receiver? Neither one, children of the earth. Here is what you are to be. You are to be a good giver, a sincere giver, but then you are also to be a good receiver. Do not say, "I shall not take this from you as you offer it to me, because I must work it out for myself." That is a wonderful attitude, but it was not given to you to take away your responsibilities. When you give something, give it from the heart. Let it go out into the world, and when you receive something, receive it with the same attitude. That is the lesson that you must learn. Be a good giver and be a good receiver. But do not have your hands out all the time to receive. Never do this. Only receive when it is right for you to receive, and then give when it is right for you to give. On the other hand, do not sell all that you have on the earth to give unto the poor. That is not right for you to do that either. You have a right to sustain yourself, and always remember never to limit yourself, if by doing so you would then live in a cramped consciousness. Never live in that consciousness, children. Go ahead and bring forth light and live a very prosperous consciousness, but do be practical at all times. Okay, we'll continue on maybe tomorrow with some more.